Hello there, welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be giving my prediction for whenever the next Trinidad and Tobago general election is. Now, I do think that it will be held in 2025. I really highly doubt that they'll hold it earlier, but things can change. And this is just my prediction for now, okay? Things can obviously change later on, but for now, this is going to be my prediction. You might call it a snapshot in time if you are looking at it in the future. But enough waffling. Let's get on. Now, for the safe PNM seats, these are areas which, yeah, they're going to go to the PNM no matter what. It's going to be a good amount for them in obviously the southwest and northwest of Trinidad and Tobago. Areas which have voted PNM for like ever, as well as San Fernando East, the crown jewel of PNM. Now, for the UNC, their base is in the south. They have a big southern base, as well as a big central base, which is right here. As you can see, Fights I do consider safe. They won by like plus 20%, and my margin for safe is around 10 to 12. So yeah, but really, it's not really 10 to 12. It's more like 15. My margins are. I'll have to fix my margins. They're kind of off for now. I don't really have a standardized measurement. I'll do that later. Now for the next areas, I'm gonna go to Mayaro and Kamuta Mountain. The UNC won it quite handily, like above 15%. So yeah, I do think that these areas are gonna be solid UNC for quite a while. Like unless there's some big growth and they pump a bunch of money into HGC developments in Rio Claro and some in Mayaro, I really just don't see it happening. Alright, now we have the likely PNM areas. These areas which will most likely go to the PNM. Now let's get on to it. Now, I think Toko Sangani is a prime example of that. If you look at the latest general election results, which give it a second to load, yeah, they won about plus 3,000 votes. It was quite wild. Look at this percent. The UNC thought that they could pick it off, but unlike areas in the country, it just did not really move. Like they wanted near the same, just slightly better the UNC did. But yeah, it's not flipping. Now for another likely area, I'm gonna go for Lupino Bon Air West. Now Lupino Bon Air West is really an interesting seat because it was only won by like 54% of the vote that the PNM got, okay? Only 54%. You'd be like, oh, well, that's quite marginal, yeah. But these Jacqueline ILP voters, how many of them are gonna vote for the UNC or the PNM, right? Like, I think that they will break about three quarters to the UNC, but that extra quarter will give the PNM an edge in this area for a while coming. So yeah, it's gonna be really hard for the UNC to win somewhere here, unless they can get somebody who has appeal to Northern Trinidad itself. So yeah, like the PNM, I do not think that there's any likely UNC areas. Some areas can get close to likely, but I just don't see it happening. Now, speaking of it, now let's go on to lean areas. Now, lean PNM areas, I think, are gonna be Tunapuna and Tobago West. Okay. Now, Tobago West is really gonna be interesting because, look, okay, the PNM they won quite a big margin here. However, in the Tobago House of Assembly election, they only won one seat in the entire island, and it was in Tobago West. So I do think that the PNM will have higher turnout. And one major thing going on in Tobago right now, which is going to be absolutely huge, is going to be the PDP and Farley Augustine split. Now, they're going to run two separate parties. I'm going to assume, as of now, that they're going to run two separate candidates, and that will simply just split the anti PNM vote. So I do think that PNM will probably get like 48% of the vote, but still win simply due to a split. So yeah, they will win by a lean margin. Now, Tunapuna, it is the traditional marginal seat, right? This is the crown jewel of marginal seats. This is the deciding factor in most elections. But realistically, the PNM are going to win this because look at this. It's about a 2,000 vote margin. The incumbent member of parliament, Esmond Ford, is really well liked. And unless there's a major shift to the UNC, I just don't see it happening. Like, there's no real bench for them to run here. You can get one of the councillors, maybe. Even then, Esmond Ford is really popular in this area, actually. So it's going to be really tough to topple him for the UNC. So I would give it to them. They'll probably win it by about like 1,500, 1,600 votes, you know? It will get closer, but yeah, just off of being a marginal. They do have the advantage at the PNM. The UNC are just not popular here. And Kampasar Bisasa is just, she's not gaining anybody else here, okay? She has her support base, but among independents, like, it's going to be really, really hard for her to win those, okay? And even then, you have to win a good amount of African population to win Tunapuna. And well, Kamala, she did that in 2010 very well for the UNC, but like 2015 and 2020 has shown that, yeah, it's going to be really hard to crack that. So yeah, I do think that it's just going to be that margin there. Now we get on to the lean UNC areas. Now, I do think that's going to be point of pair, which, as you look, it did increase its margin for David Lee, mainly due to the closing of Petrotrin. But he probably should have won by more, considering the Petrotrin thing. That effectively doomed the PNM here. Because, yeah, that's quite a big thing, you know. However, yeah, David Lee, he's quite corrupt. Well, allegedly corrupt. He's got a lot of allegations about him, you know. So yeah, it is kind of unsure. So yeah, I do think the answer will win by a lean margin. Now the next seat that I do think is going to be won by a lean margin is Muruga Tableland. Now this is going to be quite a hard call. It could backfire really badly, mainly because Michelle Benjamin has been fumbling the bag a lot in this seat. Like, she's not been doing the best job. I don't want to say that. She's quite a decent MP, really, but she really should be doing better. I do think she'll still think she will win it, because like I don't see anybody that the PM could nominate that could take them out. Really, like, look at this 10,500. Yes, it's going to remain strong. This PNM could really, in a third term of an incumbent PNM prime minister, are they going to show up more than they did last time? Are they really? No. So yeah, the UNC will remain strong here. I think they'll just barely win it by a lead margin. Now we're going to talk about another seat. This seat is really interesting to me now. Rishi Sukai, that's the freshest name off the political scene, you know. He's going to be the candidate for 2025. The field's clear. He's going to run. And, well, is it going to go well for him? Maybe. But realistically, no. The PNM have built up a bunch of HTC developments there. However, at the end of the day, right, like, there's almost a lack of space. Like, they can fill more if the UNC have a machine in the Shogunus area. And as the incumbent, Fandana Mohit will, I think, hang on by a narrow lead margin, like just barely above marginal. I think it can go to marginal. Rishi Sukai is a really good candidate for the PNM, but as of now, I think it will be lean. Now, the next lean state, why am I saying state? It's not the US, it's constituency. It's going to be Sound Baratari. Now, the UNC, this is a traditional UNCC. They usually win it. In fact, I think it will only take like a big split for them to lose it. They have a strong base in this constituency, which always delivers them in. And yeah, there's not much to say here. They won it by a good amount of margin. I think they'll increase it. Saddam Hussein's been quite popular there. And yeah, nothing really else to say there. Now, I think we are going to go into the marginal areas. Actually, never mind. I think I want to do one more lean PNM area. That's going to be San Fernando West. Yeah, okay, I called it. Like, Kamla Prasad Bisasa is not popular here. She is not popular in San Fernando West. The UNC need to nominate somebody else other than Kamla Prasad Bisasa to win San Fernando West. She does not have the appeal, and as well as Faris Arabi, who is quite well liked among most people in the area. And yeah, to win the seat, you have to win Africans, and I don't think that Kamla Bisasa can do that. Well, she's failed to do it in 2015 and 2020. So yeah, she probably does lose this area, just barely by a lean margin to the BNO. And that's quite a big blow for the UNC. Now we're on to the marginals. I think I'm gonna go for the marginal TPP. We've been holding this off for a while. Now, okay, but Tobago East, look, okay, it is gonna be such a weird sea because realistically, had the PDP coalition stayed together, I would have said, okay, this is a safe sea. Maybe likely, because Webster is somewhat well liked. But if you really look at it, yeah, this sea with the PDP running as well as the TPP, I do think it'll be very close. Like it's a three-way race. Either one could maybe win. I think it's more of a TPP race because I do think that Faith B Israel is going to run for this seat. She's the best candidate. Or Ian Pollard, he's pretty good for it as well. Either one of them. I don't think Farley will run. But yeah, I do think they'll just barely, by the skin of it, like less than 200 or so votes, just barely take this one, the TPP. Mainly down to trends in this area, They're just trending away from the PNM. So I think there's barely the hold on. Now we're going into the marshals. Now the Marshall PNM area. I think it's going to be Lapaketa Tauparo. This area is going to be very close, but I do give the advantage to the PNM. Now, you look at this margin, you're like, oh, that's pretty big. That's the same as 200.1 winning. Well, yeah, this area is going to be more competitive than Tunapuna. It just is, okay? Tunapuna, UNC have absolutely collapsed. They're running awful candidates. I mean, the last guy, David Nackett, yeah, yeah, what a great candidate. So true. Many are saying this. What were they thinking, really? Like, complete inept campaign, and then he cried after he lost the election by Kermel. The clown show at that point. But yeah, the UNC nominated the best person they could, but they still lost it by like 1,900 votes. That should be a pretty bad sign. But I do think that with Foster Cummins, he was initially like there was a good amount of energy around him after the old MP, Mr. Coffey, left due to ailing health. But he's not really been well liked in the area. Too much. Okay, in some areas he is. However, in other areas, stuff like his corruption is definitely going to hurt him in these areas, as well as the allegations. So, I do think that while the PN will hold it, it will be by a tilt margin. The UNT should definitely be putting a bunch of money into it and spiking rural Indian turnout that could give them the final blow to flip the seat after quite a while since 2010. Now, the next seat, which is going to potentially be an election decider, is going to be St. Joseph. Now, this seat, my God, this seat is the most important in the country. It is. Because whoever wins this seat, oh boy, they're going to be in for a while. Now, the reason that St. Joseph stayed with the PNM is for two reasons: COVID and Terrence Dialisi. Those are the two reasons that they won it. Other than that, they would have been toast in this seat. Like, it would have been over. Terrence Dialisi is really well liked, mainly due to his handling of COVID, as well as COVID-19. The PNM handled it in a way in which a good amount of people thought was good. And with Terrence Dialisi as the face of that handling, it really boosted him in this seat. With the answer nominating quite a bad candidate, I would say. Like, he should have done better, really. Yeah, I do think that the NC must pull their act together to pull this seat. And even, however, I will say though that the PNM had everything in that year going for them in this seat. They had a very popular incumbent, well liked incumbent. They had an economy in which they can take the blame off themselves and put it on COVID. So they can't be blamed for the economy at that point. However, they still just barely pulled the seat out. So I do think if the UNC can get their act together, I do think that just barely they will win this seat. Just narrow, like under 300 votes. However, I can see the UNC fumbling it. Now, this result, my God, this would be a complete clown show. Like, What even happens? Like, let's say the UNC forms an alliance with the TPP. What would they want? So, would they want a president, like an A&R Robinson situation? Or what would they want? So, in this scenario, yeah, it's gonna be very weird. Miss Kangu will pick who wins if they can't sort out who, if the UNC can't sort out an alliance, which is possible because they're now. Anyways, that's it. I will upload more. Share this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe. Thank you.